Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And let's begin with weather and head outside to the Outdoor Weather Center. That's where Thomas Patrick is standing by. Thomas, we were just outside. Thomas and I ran and got some coffee, and it was very cold.
Yeah, and it was hot coffee at that because, our temperatures just have not budged at all. It's still in the upper 20s as it was this morning, as it was all day yesterday. With this thick cloud cover overhead, the sun has no chance cutting through that. If you look very carefully, though, you can kind of tell that the clouds are drifting from north to south, at least in the mid layers of the atmosphere like you're seeing on the west side. That is kind of trickling in overhead as well. That in addition to the low-level cloud cover that has been sat on us for the better part of 9 or 10 days now. So you're not going to see any sunshine whatsoever today. That well noted. And yes, temperatures just cannot budge. Yesterday's high, 28 degrees. This morning's low, 27 degrees. Current temperature, 28. Again, we just can't move the needle at all when the cloud cover is this thick over our heads. Most of us should be able to at least eke out about 30 degrees. But I'm optimistic for the first time in a while that we might actually see some sunshine, not tomorrow, maybe on Saturday, because of some very gentle northerly winds, albeit a fairly cold wind. But it might be enough to literally scoop out the clouds out of the Columbia Basin and out of eastern Washington for the first time in a week and a half. So coming up, we'll show you what effect this has on our weekend forecast. That plus the latest national forecast with that major snow and ice storm to the south. So that is all coming up in a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you. Search and rescue crews found 2 hikers dead in the Mount Rainier backcountry. 35-year-old Ben Watson and 50-year-old Yuri Richter were reported missing after Ben never checked in with his family on Sunday. Crews have located 2 people unable to move near Wilson Glacier on Monday, but were unable to reach them until Tuesday due to weather conditions. Officials have not yet confirmed the identities of the bodies. President Trump wrapped up his time at the World Economic Forum in Davos with the concept of a deal on Greenland. On social media, the president said early agreements on a, quote, framework came after what he's calling a very productive meeting with NATO Secretary General. Right now, the administration stopped short of sharing any details or exact details of the framework, while lawmakers in Davos had their own thoughts on the situation.
There's a way to achieve what the president rightfully points out we need to achieve in the Arctic without any of this drama.
This is pretty damn stupid. Now you look at what it means going after territory from another member of NATO. That is crossing a red line.
CBS diplomatic sources say the deal is not an agreement for U.S. control or ownership, but could beef up the existing U.S.-Denmark deal from 1951, which allowed the U.S. to establish military bases on the island. A man accused of making deadly threats towards members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here in Spokane may be released from custody. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy went through the court documents to find out what's going on, and here's what we know.
Are you asking to address bond without him present?
Yes, Your Honor.
In a more than 20-minute-long out-of-custody arraignment, 23-year-old suspect Armando Torres Hernandez did not appear due to an involuntary commitment at a local hospital where he's receiving mental health treatment. According to court documents, he's accused of making deadly threats made against members of 2 LDS churches in Spokane and Cheney. On January 10th, a witness and one of the congregation's leaders, according to court docs, was told that Torres Hernandez, who had previously attended church services, was stalking some of its female members. As a result, a church leader contacted him and said he was no longer allowed to attend services. An affidavit of facts reveals another witness and member of the church having a conversation with Torres Hernandez, saying he had thoughts to shoot and bomb LDS church members and wrote those thoughts down in a journal. Since then, he's been incarcerated on a designated crisis responder hold after authorities were concerned he would harm himself and/or others. During Wednesday's arraignment, the judge determined Torres Hernandez should be released from custody on a 90-day less restrictive hold, referred to as an LRA. From there, he'll be released from custody and live with his family, but will have to undergo court-ordered mental health treatment.
And being on the LRA is a much better approach than keeping him incarcerated where he's not going to get that kind of help.
The judge also clarified the order he signed will only go into effect if Torres Hernandez agrees with the LRA. The spokesperson for the LDS Church's congregations released a statement on the situation, saying, "The church is working closely with local authorities as they pursue their investigation. Questions may be directed to local law enforcement. The suspect's next out-of-custody arraignment is scheduled for February 4th at 9 a.m. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Spokane police arrested a teenager for allegedly stealing something from Petunia and Loomis. This happened Tuesday in downtown Spokane. Jesse McCauley, the owner of Petunia and Loomis, says he saw a teenage girl put on a beanie with the price tag still on it and that he followed her outside. After catching up to the teenager and the group of friends she was with and asked for the beanie back, he says they pepper sprayed him. He says he's still feeling some of the effects from the spray. Spokane police did arrest the 16-year-old girl for first-degree robbery and third-degree theft. Her first court date is scheduled for the 28th. Right now, a Washington family is suing Tesla after a man died in a crash. The Tesla involved was reportedly in that autopilot mode. They claim the product is inherently unsafe and they believe it should be pulled from the market. 28-year-old Jeffrey Neeson died on Highway 522 2 years ago. Police reports show the victim was stopped in traffic when a self-driving Tesla rammed his motorcycle and dragged him to death. Tesla has not responded to the lawsuit. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is currently investigating more than 8,000 incidents involving Tesla's self-driving cars.